Well, I wish I could give you the tea, but mine's just a little bit tart, and that's why it's called Leah's Lemonade. And honey, we have a talent at the lemonade stand today, okay? We have a singer, a songwriter, a performer. Sevyn Streeter's in the building. Welcome.
Hello, Mama. How you doing?
I'm doing well, and I'm excited to have you because I know that you're a cusser, and I'm a cusser too.
I goddamn am. Yes, I am.
I mean, real shit. Like I knew we would be compatible because
I feel like that too.
Because you were a cusser, and I was like, this is gonna be great because she's my type of people.
Listen, I do have a little potty mouth. I swear, it'd be bad sometimes. I gotta work on that.
I know. We should start like a swear jar or something.
We should. I like that. Like a swear. What's a swear cash app?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. So every time we got to cash app each other 25 cents.
That part.
Okay. Bet. And by the end of the month, whoever has the most money, then we know who's the cusser.
Bitch, first of all, you don't have the most money. The most money because I have a potty mouth over here.
Yeah, no, I do too. It's really bad because I don't ever like notice it. So I probably would forget to cash app you, honestly.
It's okay. All good.
Theoretically. But yes, we have to talk because there's so much going on. You have a new album coming out. And first of all, you wrote one of my favorite Tamar Braxton songs of all time. Okay, because All the Way Home, it's crazy because before I even knew I was interviewing you, I had just posted on social media. I was like, this song understood the fucking assignment. Yeah. Understood.
Yeah, and she understood the assignment too because she sung the hell out that record.
The whole song. So I'm excited because, aside from the fact that you are your own artist, I mean, the pen game is crazy. You know what I mean? It's insane. We'll talk about that later, but we got to get into the new album, Drunken Wordz Sober Thoughtz. And what a more honest album.
Listen here, that's my baby. Okay, that's my new baby. But no, I'm excited. I'm really excited to give fans the music. Like they've been extremely patient with me. And so appreciative for. But Drunken Wordz Sober Thoughtz. When you hear that, you already know what type of time it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a drink or two or three, and then next thing you know, the whole world know all your business. But for me, it took on a different take because I really wanted to allow myself to write and feel whatever I want to write. And I always give myself that permission, but this time it was a little bit different. Especially with us being in a pandemic and, 2 years before that, I've been living life and experiencing life in so many different ways. I lost my uncle to cancer, I've been dating, in and out of dating, it's just so much. And, when I hear Drunken Wordz Sober Thoughtz, it's like, okay, you can literally be under the influence of a million different emotions. And whether it's love or lust or heartbreak or anger or jealousy or whatever it is. And I wanted to give myself permission to come all of those different spaces,
Yeah, well, and I also think it's interesting too because you're coming from a space where, in your previous projects, there was a lot more hands in the pot. And I know this one has been a lot of Sevyn from concept to writing to even producing. So talk to me about that aspect, right? Because I think cultivating an album under a label and under a lot of authority is totally different than you having your own constructive freedom. So talk to me about the difference and how we'll hear that on this project.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. I think the way that I was able to approach this project is just with a lot of freedom. With a whole lot of freedom. There's a side of my voice that I don't think I ever really let fans hear before. And I'm excited about that. And this new. I feel like as an artist, you discover new things about your voice as the years progress. And it's this place that's a little scratchy but a little raw, and I like it. You know what I mean? It feels very much so I like this version of myself. You know what I mean? So that was nice. And honestly, yeah, writing has always been giving me a lot of freedom, but also being able to, write the treatments for the videos and, co-direct, some of the videos and just kind of just be super hands-on with everything. It's been fun. I really enjoyed it, honestly.
Yeah. And I think too, to circle back to what you said, you know, with this pandemic, we've had a lot of time to sit with ourselves and learn a lot about ourselves, sometimes things we didn't even want to confront. And so I think it's interesting that you said that, you know, you kind of found new things about yourself, because I think we all discovered things about ourselves.
A whole heap of things, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was a nice discovery. I think that we kind of all needed to sit our asses down for a little bit and be with ourselves. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. Obviously, you know, with the craziness and all the lives lost, that is heartbreaking. But, you know, if we have to find a little silver lining, you know, or glass half full moment, it's the amount of time that I think people were able to spend with themselves and to, you know, connect with a lot of your family members, whether it was, even if it was just on Zoom or making a few more phone calls to your people, to your friends. Like, I think that was dope.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it also put into perspective the importance of like things unlike money or jobs. It was like family and what's important to you. It was really a time to focus on that, because, you know, just with, like you said, so many lives lost, we realized the important things in this last year. So I'm excited to hear the album. Now we have some singles out, of course. Nasty Girl with Bia. Let's talk about it, because I mean, Bia's just coming off of the Whole Lot of Money remix. So I mean, the timing just aligned.
Yeah, listen, first of all, shout out Bia with her talented ass. She's so good and so cool as shit. Nah, that record is just, you know, I get to talk a lot of shit on that record, and I wanted one of my friends to talk a lot of shit on the record with me too. So she snapped and went crazy, and it's just sexy, it's confident, it's very, like, you know, you sing that record, you just know that you a boss ass bitch when you sing it. You know what I mean? So I'm into, like, you know, I keep seeing a lot of them, they're getting dressed to it and doing their makeup to it. And, you know, when they get up and get dressed and they get a little walking. I like that. I like that it makes them feel, you know, feel like more themselves, like feel like yourself. But I love the record. It's a little sexy record, a little nasty record.
We could use that. We could use that in these streets, okay? I'm not mad at it.
Put it to uses.
So what is your favorite song on the album, do you think? I mean, it might not be one of the singles, but what do you think your favorite song is?
I think my favorite song on the album is a song called Fallback. And it's not a single. I don't even know if it will be a single, but I love that record. And I love it because of the thing that we were talking about earlier. I like the space that I'm able to sing in on that record. I like the raspiness to my voice, and I like the texture, and I like I like the passion in the song. I like it. It sounds like I'm angry, but then I'm heartbroken. But then, you know, it's like, you know,
it's layers.
Yeah, I like that. So I think my favorite, at least this week, my favorite is Fallback. It changes, you know, like,
right.
But I think it's Fallback.
Right. And as people listen and give you their opinions or take different perspectives, everything shifts. You know.
I can't wait to hear what the fans, like, what their favorites are, like what songs speak to them. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, because, you know, the last project you put out was 4 years ago, and it's very much so giving Rihanna. But we're gonna let you.
Listen, first of all, if I could ever give a Rihanna anything, that woman is a goddess. Like, please. I like that to take so long, but it's necessary. I had to live my life a little bit, you know.
Yeah, but I appreciate that rather than you being a machine just cranking out shit because I think you can always tell when an artist puts their time, energy into something. So real excited for that. Now let's get into this pin, this crazy ass pin, because I mean, it's just ridiculous how much you write. I'm always interested to know, though. I've talked to Victoria Monet, Eric Bellinger, a lot of artists who double as songwriters and then their own individual artists. And I always ask, because I feel like it's such a give and take, right? On one hand, you give, but then you also are an artist, right? So you have to take in to a certain extent. So talk to me about the balance. I always ask, like, you know, it can be hard when you're writing these successful ass songs, but you don't feel that same love when it comes to your records, or it might have been a song you really wanted to keep, but you give it to someone else because you know that in those hands it might do better than what you would do. Talk to me about the balance of that, because I know it can be difficult.
I mean, the way that I decide about like which songs I keep and which songs I sell, like, I really just if I don't know if a song speaks to me if I'm supposed to keep it or not. You know, if it speaks to me, I'll keep it. But I will sell it before I allow it to just sit on my laptop. You know, but I have to get all of my ideas out, all of my thoughts out, and I like to put my bodies of work together first, and then whatever is left is like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, so right now I'm going through that process. So it's not hard. It's not hard to give, you know, to sell the records and to give them away because, you know, I feel like the ones that I give away, they didn't necessarily fit the body of work that, you know, that I'm working on at the moment. So that's always cool. And then, you know, you find out who's looking, and that's always the fun part. Like, oh, we can send this song to her, we can send this song to this person or that person. So that's the fun part. But it's I like to hear people sing. I do, especially when they can sing. Like when they, you know what I mean? Like that's enjoyable for me.
Right. Yeah. And so I also have this question because I just want to know. You know, there's been a conversation in the last 5 years about ghostwriting and, you know, people having writers. And so how, honestly, you don't have to tell me people, but honestly, how much do people ghostwrite and how much bigger is the bag if you keep your mouth closed?
You know what though? I think that's more so like a rapper thing. I think if anything, a ghostwriter, because you know I write for singers all the time, and it's not necessarily a secret. You know what I mean? Like it's a known thing when I write for. I think that's a rapper thing, and I don't really know. Well, I do know. I know a couple of writers that like are fire ass verses for rappers. But, yeah, but you know, I think to each his own. You know, sometimes a writer, they can just write the thing that makes you feel exactly like, you know, they can say exactly what it is you want to say, want to get out. And I think that art is art. You know what I mean? If a full song comes to me and it's fire, I'm gonna cut it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't really know about ghostwriters and how that like. You know, because it's taboo for a little second for, you know, people have
no, for sure. And then they calling folks out and people are like scrambling.
Yeah.
But I think everybody in their own way is influenced. You know what I mean? Whether you want to say it or not, everyone has somebody they pick and pull tendencies and influences from in the game.
Yes, ma'am. For sure. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that part of it. I think that, you know, we're all here to inspire each other. Somebody gonna inspire somebody at some point.
And as long as the person gets their check, you know?
That part. Listen here and get them folks their bags.
Okay. And then we move on. So I do want to talk to you. You've been open in the past about depression and dealing with mental illness and your mental health. And so how was this pandemic for you? Because I think we collectively all went through depression because no one was expecting what came these last year and a half to 2 years. So how did you maintain your mental health?
I discovered this amazing routine that I've been doing parts of it for like, you know, 2 years already, but you know, the pandemic came and it really was like, oh, you need a routine, child.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wake up, you know, early in the morning before any of the calls begin to come in, and I'll watch a sermon. I'll go outside, I'll watch a sermon. I got a big ass speaker at my house. So go outside in the backyard, blast my sermons. I know I'll be taking my whole neighborhood to church, child. But blast my sermons. I'll you know, get on my yoga mat. I'll stretch. I write down my intentions for the day. You know, I meditate. I talk to God. That's how I was spending a lot of my days in quarantine. You know, and then you know, I have a studio in my house, so I would, you know, get that out and get my day together and set my day, and then just go and write whatever it is and see whatever it is that I felt. So it was good for me in a sense to where it's in the past, I think probably 3 years ago when I was dealing with depression a lot, I didn't have that routine. I realized that had a lot to do with, you know, what I dealt with. And it was like, no, you gotta like make sure that you are okay first. You know what I mean? So every morning, for the last 3 years now, that's been, you know, loosely my routine until quarantine came, and it's like, oh no, this is the routine. You know,
Yeah.
it helps it's so much. Like I honestly feel like a lighter person for it. Like I feel like a lighter person. I feel like I just feel really good. I just feel really, really good.
Yeah, no, waking up and the first thing you hear is a sermon gets your mind ready for the bull.
It's insane too, because the way that I choose them, I close my eyes and I'll count to 7 and I'll scroll. And
yes.
When it lands, and I'm like, all right, God, what you want to say to me today? And 9 times out of 10, it's literally exactly what I'm dealing with. Period. So.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Yes, the number of completion. 7.
Yeah, like God, clearly you like the number 7.
Come on.
Talk to me, Lord. That part.
Right. Okay, so recently I actually had a conversation with Tyrese, and he talked about colorism in the industry. You've been very open about colorism, and we're starting to see a shift, right? We're starting to see more representation, but as a dark-skinned woman on the inside, because I think it's one thing, Hollywood knows how to make smoke and mirrors, right? They know how to give perception. So do you think that this shift is actually effective, or it's a bit performative? Like, are you directly seeing the impact?
Oh my God, I think it's all around us. When you see, you know, amazing directors like Lena Waithe, you know what I mean, going crazy, Ava going crazy, you know, Anthony Anderson hosting, you know, taking over Fallon for, like, it's just like it's everywhere, and I think that it's beautiful. And even when you look at the MTV Awards, you got 2 Black women up there snapping. Normani and Chloe snapped, and they weren't the only Black women that you saw up there. So it's like, it's just, I think it's beautiful. I think that we're having these conversations so much more, and I think that I thank God honestly for social media, because, you know, we've been having these types of conversations in our homes and with our friends for years, for forever. But to be able to have them on this platform and spread the knowledge and say, hey, Black people are the shit. Black women are bomb. Like, Black men are kings. Like, Black is like, and to shoot that shit across this world, let everybody know that it is like, it's beautiful. And I think that I do feel like it's changing and shifting, and it's only gonna get better, because first of all, we're resilient and creative as fuck, and we're brilliant. So, you know, it's literally only going to go up. Like,
yeah, only a matter of time. I love that. Yeah, and I do love that shift that Hollywood is making. And to your point, social media has been such a change agent in pushing that forward.
Twitter is a real thing, okay?
An institution.
Thing, that part.
Period. Now, social media has been, speaking of social media, they've been talking about the fact that nobody knew that Murder on the Beat was a white man. You knew that, sis?
First of all, nobody knew that Murder was white. Yes, I've known first of all, Murder fire. Yeah, shout out Murder. But yeah, I've known Murder for years at this point. But nobody knew that.
Everybody no, we didn't know that.
Well, Murder on the Beat, so it's not nice. Yeah, he's hard. He's really, really hard. He's fire.
Now the question is, have we ever seen him and Harlow in the same room? Because I haven't. No, I'm playing. They look like that. They do.
They do actually they do kind of give you like cousins, like brothers. Like, I can see that.
Yeah, I said, well, let me ask somebody who be in the studio, because ain't no way. So another question I wanted to ask, you were in a girl groups actually too. Did you happen to watch BET's The Encore, where they kind of made that women's super group?
I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it, so I've just been like kind of following through, through IG. But Felicia and Fallon are like really great friends of mine. I was just with them the other night too, so I gotta sit down. Like, when things slow down, I'm gonna sit down and binge and watch.
It's so good. It's so good because it gives you the drama, but they come out, they make good music. It's
co-sign from the interns, the producer co-sign. Like, that's another one of my homies. Like, They've done so many of my records in the past. Me and Felicia did Before I Do Together. We wrote Before I Do Together.
Okay.
Me, Felicia, and Micah. And then Cosign actually produced Bands and Jesus. Bands, Sex on the Ceiling, and what was the other one? Usually when I call you at 3 o'clock in the morning, you just pick up. I forgot the name of it. Either way. But yeah.
They'd be in the studio with you. Got it.
Talented friends of mine, yes.
Yes. Well, the whole essence was of the show was, you know, we can still make girl groups work, right? It was a lot of drama. Not everybody made it to the end. But I wanted to know from your experience, I know you always talked about having a positive experience from girl groups. What was it like for you? Did you really enjoy it? You know, would you ever be in a girl group again? Like,
man, I honestly love being in my groups. Like, I really, really enjoyed them. And I think I love them so much because they taught me a lot. You know, working with 3 other women, it teaches you how to be selfless. It teaches you how I had a lot of practice, like with arranging things, because I used to do a lot of, like, you know, harmonies and stuff with the girls, you know, so that kind of, you know, it got my chops up a little bit in that area. And overall, it's just fun. I really did enjoy it. I had a great time. And, you know, it's fun to be with 4 girls and dress up and get cute and that, you know, it was fun. I really did. Would I ever do another girl group? I think that would be fun, actually. I think it's fun to, like, do a project with 2 other girls just to join. I'd be down to do that. I think that'd be dope.
A little joint album or something, you know?
That'd be great.
We miss the sound, though. There's a unique sound that comes from girl groups that we are missing, that we don't quite get from individual artists. So I would love a little era of bringing that back.
As you say that, I'm here for it.
Okay, I'm just putting that in the air. Just sprinkle it. You always understand the assignment, so I'm gonna let you.
I'm spin it over here.
Just one joint album, if not, and if it's maybe two. Maybe two. Yeah. Just saying. Okay, so I want to play a game with you. I know you have a song on the album called Liquid Courage. So I want to play a game with you called Liquid Courage. And so basically you're just going to tell me, have you done these things drunk, and supply the story with it.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Have you ever fell so hard that you had a bruise or a cut?
Girl, I did it 2 nights ago. Now my sister see her busting, like, cry and laugh because I literally just bust my ass 2 nights ago, and I didn't have on no shoes. First of all, it was like 1 in the night, so we was getting there real late.
Oh yeah.
It was like 5:30 in the morning, and I walked off the elevator. We had a great time. Had a great night, and I don't know how my heels slipped. Bitch, my bags went up. I fell flat on my face, like flat on my face. And then today, when we were getting dressed, my makeup artist was like putting, like, you know, blame on my arm, and I'm like, why the fuck does my arm hurt? Like, what? Why does my arm hurt like that? And I'm like, oh shit, Jaden.
Because you busted your ass.
I busted my ass.
I love it. Okay.
Good.
Liquid Courage. Have you ever peed yourself drunk?
I'm sure. I mean, everybody has that rush to the bathroom. You know what I mean?
When you break the seal, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a whole wrap. And then you got to try to, like. Then you remember when you get in the stall, you got to keep your legs crossed until, like, the early.
It's worse than when you have a goddamn bodysuit on and you're sitting naked in the damn bathroom, and everything is moving around you, and you're like, life.
Nah, that's why I don't like to do a lot of bodysuits when I go, like, out and I know I'll be drinking like that. I don't like to wear bodysuits like that because, bro, I'm not about to deal with that. I'm really not, because I will be the one. Yeah,
because it's just like your whole life is swirling. You're in the bathroom, you're fucking naked because your bodysuit on the ground. You're trying to.
No.
Yeah. Okay, Liquid Courage, and of course, this is obviously kind of what the album title is. But have you ever spilled your own tea because you were drunk?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do it all the time. I do it all the time on my albums.
Right.
I'll be in the studio, just me and my engineer. And this is why my engineer is my dog. Shout out JP. He's amazing. He's an engineer, A&R, he's fire. And we'll be in there working, but that's my drinking partner. So we've been there taking shots, and it just be me and him in the studio. And yeah, that's what the projects are. You know, that's what Drunken Wordz Sober Thoughtz has a lot to do with us having, like, you know, drunken little nights in the studio. I'm like, man, fuck that shit. I'm just gonna say this. Like, that's how I feel. You know? So,
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why it's always my favorite to interview artists after the album comes out, because y'all be telling so much tea. I'll be like, so who said him in the mouth? Who was him and why?
Who was him and why?
So you lucky, because I would have really got the lemonade if I had the album. But who knows? I might circle the block. I might
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. Liquid Courage. Have you ever thrown up on somebody?
Nah, I never did one of those. But I will say this: we were working on Chris's album at Record Plant in LA. It's like a really big studio in LA, and we've been working there for months. And they had just gotten new carpet put in. And that particular night, we all went out to the club. This is years ago, but we all went out to the club. It was me, it was Chris, a bunch of our friends, a bunch of people. I think Justin Bieber was out that night. It was a crazy night. As soon as we got back to the studio, straight from back to the studio from being out, as soon as literally, I stepped 2 feet into the hallway of Record Plant and threw up everything. Right on a brand new carpet they had just put in that day. It had got put in that day. I was like, when I tell you, yeah.
I would have been like, it's okay, I'm gonna write y'all some hits and replace the carpet.
They weren't mad. I mean, we really all just laughed so hard. It's like, bruh, like they just really said, like, really, like,
yeah. Just put this carpet. You got it. You initiated it. You got it, like, broke it in.
That's how I said it. I said, oh, okay, well, at least I just Christianed the carpet, okay? Yeah.
We did that. Okay, Liquid Courage. Have you ever put something on social media you regretted because you were drunk?
Nah, I ain't that stupid. You know what I do? I write things down in my notepad a lot. Like, I really do. Like, I'll get drunk and, like, want to, like, just get the shit out, and I'll just go to writing in my notepad. So nah. And if I ever feel like the urge to do that, I'll still go to my notepad first, and then I would be like, all right, bitch, now look at this.
You really think this belongs on social media?
So you gonna choose violence today? Is that what we doing? Yeah, no. And I still get it out. I just don't put it up.
And it ends up on the album, so it's fine.
It ends up on the album.
Full circle.
Still good. Yeah.
Okay, Liquid Courage. Have you made a ridiculous ass purchase? Like something you knew you ain't have no business buying just when you was drunk?
When I was drunk? Nah. I think the only thing that I had purchased while I was drunk, and it's because I was out and I was in a city, like, where, like, I was in a city by myself, just like me and my team. And I think that we went to a fucking why am I losing my train of thought? Went to a sex store when I was drunk. after being out, went to a sex store and I got me a cute little vibrator. It was cute.
Was it the rose? Have you seen the rose?
No, you're breaking up. Wait, no, I seen the rose. It looks cute. Sevyn. I don't have one, but it looks cute.
Sevyn. Sis, once we finish this recording, sis, I'll get you.
No, let me find out. Okay, see us.
Yeah, right. Once I start recording, we're gonna come back to that. All right. Liquid Courage. Have you went home with someone you didn't mean to go home with?
No. Not that I didn't mean to go home with. Like, if I go home with you, I meant to go home with you. You know what I mean? So, sure. But we did have, we had a couple of drinks in my system and decided to go home with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. Liquid Courage, right?
Liquid Courage, boo.
Get a little bowl. Okay, Liquid Courage. You don't post on social media, but have you ever drunk called an ex?
Have Oh yeah, absolutely.
The
Girl,
worst.
yeah. No, sorry, 1 second. No. So yeah, have I? Yeah, absolutely. I've drunk called an ex. I've drunk text an ex. I wrote a song called Next based off of my ex when I had some liquid courage in my system.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, yeah. How can my boyfriend be my next boyfriend? Yeah, that was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, it happens, and I hate when you wake up and you're like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You be like, girl, you're so stupid.
you should never fucking did.
You should never did that shit. Then
Or,
you go to ask your friends, be like, is it that bad? Is it that bad that I said?
what did I say? I hate when you see the call and you're like, I don't know what the fuck you said. The worst.
I'm like, did I really call him? Like, yeah, bitch.
Damn, it was a 30-minute conversation. What the fuck did I say?
And you don't remember none of it.
None of it.
None of it.
I'm having flashbacks, and I ain't been outside like that. I'm like, maybe I don't need to drink no more.
Here, it happens though.
That's listen, we're young, we're Black, we're free, okay?
That part, it's okay.
Okay, and so my last question is obviously the whole album is about your drunken words being your sober thoughts. Have you ever said some shit to somebody you had no intention of saying had you not had that liquid courage?
I'm sure that I have. I'm absolutely sure that I have. I just don't be caring though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's the thing. This is the thing about liquid courage when you're under the influence of something. Like, I'm a big believer in if you're gonna say it while you're under the influence of it, you would have eventually. I feel like you would have eventually said it at some point. Anyway, at least I know me. I'm gonna just say it anyway. I just may say it a little bit sooner. You know, 2 shots of tequila, but it's never gonna sit. Something that I really need to say to you is not gonna sit, live and dormant in my head. Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the end of the game. Okay, let everybody know when they can get the new album and your social media where they can follow you.
Man, just make sure y'all follow me at Sevyn, SEVYN, on both Twitter and Instagram. And what is my TikTok? My TikTok is just Sevyn Streeter. Yeah. Sorry, I'm really bad with this one. Follow me Sevyn Streeter on TikTok. And yeah, make sure you check out Nasty Girl featuring Leah. And Guilty featuring Chris Brown, A$AP Ferg, if you haven't heard it. And yeah, Drunken Wordz Sober Thoughtz is my new project, my new baby. So make sure
make sure you get it. Make sure you support our girl, okay? Because she is super talented. And listen, I just love your energy. Every time I've met you, you have been such a genuine spirit. So I love for good people to win because, y'all are proof that you don't got to be shiesty and crazy to win in this industry.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Okay.
Thank you too. And you're always beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Lemonade stand. Grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that.
That part. What up, you guys? It's your girl Sevyn, and I'm rocking with my homegirl Leah Henry right here on Leah's Lemonade.